I'm Stefan Pokorny, founder and chief sculptor at Dwarven Forge. For the past 17 years, I've been happy to share my creations with collectors all over the world. People as passionate as I am about games like Dungeons and Dragons. I started my career as a classically trained fine artist. I eventually had my artistic ideas and my gaming hobby come together to create Dwarven Forge, the makers of the three-dimensional dungeon terrain. It's been my pleasure and honor to create these artistic creations for people and to meet them and to get feedback and to see the wonderful pictures posted on my forum. I thank you, the collectors. I love you guys. I'm indebted to you, you know. But it's gotten to the point where the cost of resin has gone up so much and the labor has gone up so much that now our products are getting very expensive to create and to sell. And I feel like it's getting to the point where there's only a pool of a few people at the top who can afford our miniature dungeon. It's painful for me. This is not the way it's supposed to be. I want everybody everywhere to be able to afford three-dimensional dungeons. So we're launching this Kickstarter to be able to create these new dungeon pieces that we're calling game tiles that will be vastly more affordable. Allow me to introduce to you game tiles. These game tiles are, you know, you can turn these any way you want. You can make hundreds and hundreds of different variations. That's the way they were created, to be quickly interchangeable. All kinds of different rooms and passageways with just 3 basic pieces. That's the greatness of it. All we need to do is create, you know, hundreds of thousands of these pieces to bring the cost down to a really low level. And that would just be awesome. This new material does not break. It is wonderful stuff and great for carrying. You can put it in your backpack, run down to the gaming store, unload it onto the table and set it up, and there's not a single mark to be seen. So we're calling this Dwarvenite. It's indestructible. And the details are just as beautiful, nice as our other stuff. They look really awesome in the dungeon gray right out of the box. Your miniatures stand out against them, or you can get them expertly hand-painted, or you can even paint them yourself. If you buy the so-called unpainted pieces, they're not exactly unpainted if you think about it. They are infused with a dungeon gray color to begin with. If you're a painter, all you have to do is dry brush any kind of lighter color over it, and it'll come out beautiful.
You're just telling one creature and something else is causing stress.
I mean, when you see the faces of your players, when you lay out your dungeon and put your miniatures in there, I mean, that's like 100 times better than a vinyl erase thing where you're like, hey man, you make it right, and you go into T section and then you double back and then how are you going to draw that? When you lay these out on the table, there is no confusion about where you are or who sees who, you know? Or, oh, is there enough space to wield that two-handed sword? No, you know exactly what's going on. And it's just takes your gaming to the next level, to the highest level. And I know you want your game to be the highest level. When I go to game conventions, customers constantly come up to me and they say, oh man, you know, I wish you had this stuff when I was a little kid. You know, I would have loved to use this stuff. And I'd be like, well, why don't you use it now? If we get the pledges that we hope to get, we'll be able to offer twice as many pieces for the levels that we have now. If you can spread the word and get enough people to order, we will just keep growing the pieces to the point where you'll be able to cover your table for very affordable cost. I'm calling on all the gamers, all the fanatics out there to spread the word and help me in this crusade to bring three-dimensional dungeons to the masses.